What's going on, everyone? Today we are checking out Nordic Ashes. This is a relatively new action or roguelite survivor game. It's also a bullet heck game. So you got all kinds of stuff to work around. I played about 6 hours of this, and we've unlocked quite a bit of stuff during that time. I basically did that 6 hours back to back. It's a fantastic game. So you got this little meta progression area that you get from unlocking leaves from doing various things and completing maps, as well as converting these little seeds that you can get through the maps into other leaves. And each one of these has an unlock value, right? So you can kind of go through and unlock stuff, and you can freely take away the things just like popping out, and it doesn't like it doesn't change the value, so you can move it all around. You got different slots that you can alter for having no buffs or some buffs. So we'll do our first map what it's on no buffs, right? Just to see what it's like from the beginning. But you can see from the amount of time I played, I do have 131 leaves, which is quite a bit. But if you come down here, you can show leaves. This is how you get the leaves. You can exchange seeds, like I previously said. But you also have these little objectives that you can go through, and there is a lot of objectives. There's a lot of content here, man. Like it's a fun, very fun game. Got a bunch of different characters you can choose from. I've unlocked quite a few of them, and it'll tell you actually how to unlock them once you're actually looking at them. Like you can see here, complete 2 or more green heart runs. I don't know what a green heart, or complete 2 green hearts in a single run. I don't know what a green heart is. I really don't know what an enemy shadow is, but I'm assuming it's just by slaying the enemies. Some of them unlocked basically from just a variety of different things. This one's from hard mode or higher for one of the levels. And each character starts off with its own little weapon choice. And rather than starting off with like a talent tree based on each weapon, you get a whole talent tree, right? So we're gonna start off with the base character. This guy you unlock. The first weapon you get is the I believe you can pick whichever weapon you want. So we'll go with the iron hammer because I like that one for this guy. Got quite a few levels you can go through, and each level has various difficulty settings, or I should say game modes. Actually, these are game modes. Additionally, you do have difficulty settings, and if you want to just have a chill game, like we're gonna start on normal. Actually, yeah, we're gonna start on normal just for the sake of showing off what the game's about. But as you level up in the difficulties, it gets quite a bit harder. So you'll see that the game isn't too challenging on its base difficulty, but once you get going, man, like it gets rough. Expert, I've only done expert like a couple of times to try it, and I did it with like some of the more OP styles of things that I was able to figure out from my little time playing, and it gets pretty challenging. So just like Vampire Survivors, you know, you get the and most of the other Vampire Survivor likes, you get experience on the ground, you pick it up, you get leveled up. You have various things on the map, like these boxes and these trees. The trees are what drops the seeds, but you can also get them from enemies, and you can get things like, oh god, you get a little dash button as well. Oh sure, god, you get gold, and you get health potions from the boxes and whatnot. You can also get them from enemy drops. Up here, you have these little shrine areas, and each shrine has a different setting. So these are shrines where you got to stay in the area for a certain amount of time. Now, if you leave the shrine, it doesn't automatically reset, but if you're out for quite a bit of time, it does reset time periodically. So we're going to go ahead and level up a little bit. Now, I've found that depending on your character, you do want to just focus on the main weapon you get. But for this guy, I like getting over into the ultimate as quick as possible. I guess we actually have a little bit more to level up. So each tree for each character has different buffs you can get. Like this guy doesn't have any experience buffs or anything, but some of the other characters do. So you can get more experience. You can get experience attraction. Some of the characters have a whole different like mechanics. Like one of them kind of functions like greed from The Binding of Isaac. If you guys ever played that, you do end up with gold being health, but you also get damage from gold and your weapon upgrades from gold. It's a whole thing, man. It's very interesting. But rather than lock you out of the weapon choices from the beginning, as you go through, you can actually get these original weapons. Now, I find personally, at least with this guy, that the weapons you get later on, like these little boots, are much better. So each thing has its own usefulness, right? So like on the easier difficulties for this guy, I honestly prefer Fury just to get the more damage from damage taken. But when you have a bunch of enemies around, and trust me, it gets crazy. There are a ton of enemies on the higher difficulties. It's really ridiculous. But having something that pushes them back is quite useful. So over here we got the little pink shrines, and as you can see, it's pretty obvious, to be honest. It's got skulls and a count. So the more skulls you get, the more deaths you end up doing, the better it is. So rather than having you be stuck with, oh, and I gotta be careful. We're actually we're getting a little close to being deceased. Be a little more careful, man. But yeah, you gotta be in the circle for the deaths to count. So we're gonna kind of come around, swoop back in, and pop our ultimate. Now, unfortunately, I haven't noticed really any invincibility frames for, like, the dodge mechanic and whatnot, which I think it's a little unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie. Like, having a dodge invincibility frame would be great. All right, there you go. You unlock a variety of things by doing different tasks. So there we go. So you can also go into your item menu and check and see what your items do. So, like, we got the feline boots for dash cooldown. I got 2 blue hearts from the porridge. Not all items are, like, particularly useful. I don't find that the blue hearts are that useful because it's pretty easy to get, oh god, pretty easy to get health in this. Now, honestly, and these little shrines, you pay for your item with the P thing, which is basically just like the upgrade levels that let you upgrade your items. And now some of them are quite useful. What we got does stuff with burning. If we read it here real quick, gives you projectiles, a chance for projectiles when things are on fire or like a burning. So it can be pretty. Oh god, you son of a, get out of here! It can be pretty useful. Now, if we come on over here, kind of make our way down to the other things that are on the map. God, I also find that the AI for the enemy tracking is really good. They are very adept at hunting you down and smacking you right on the noggin. So you got to be careful about that. Now, you also see the gold mechanic, right? You got to buy stuff. You get a gold mine on... I haven't actually seen a map that doesn't have a gold mine, so I'm pretty sure it is every map. So that's, you know, it's useful. It's useful. Can't really complain on that one. Especially with the character that does things with money. It gets pretty crazy. All right. This is just free. Not all the upgrades are free like we've seen, but this one is free. We gotta be careful. All right, we gotta upgrade some stuff, man. All right, go ahead and give me the boots. So you'll notice this little arrow thing, right? You can actually aim some of the abilities. Not all of them require you to aim. So if you want to just like do a head empty run where you're just letting yourself stand in one place and whatnot, you can actually do that. There are characters that have weapons and abilities that make it a lot easier to do those kinds of runs. I personally enjoy the requiring you to use your brain a little bit on the difficulty. Now, I am playing on a controller. I haven't actually played it on mouse and keyboard because I just felt like it'd probably be easier on controller, and I think I'm probably right on that one. I feel like it would be very challenging to do this on a mouse and keyboard, but that being said, it's also a little challenging to do it on controller. Like, the way you have to move your hands and whatnot, it's a little worse than playing Dark Souls, to be honest. So as far as the control schemes are considered, it's all right. You know, I can't complain too much. It's a fun game, right? Now, you'll notice we got different types of elites. Some of the elites will also drop boxes, and we got a boss here. You can see up at the top, there's like a wave counter and whatnot that tells you when the boss is coming, when the next elite is coming, and whatnot. Now, I'm noticing we're a little bit slow, so I'm going to take at least one level in that, and then we're also going to just kind of pump into the weapons. I've noticed that it really is best to focus as much as possible on getting as high a weapon as you can. Oh, okay. So you notice that little guy right down there is sucking up our aggro. Additionally, I didn't really play a whole hell of a lot of the other Survivor games like this, so I don't know if this is the case, but once the boss spawns, the enemies no longer drop experience. So you can't just, like, infinitely farm. The ones that were spawned before the boss shows up will still drop experience, but other than that, they won't. So you gotta be aware of that, right? So you can't just, like, level up as you're fighting the boss. There's no real reason to sit here and farm the boss forever. Now, I'm hoping our little ultimate here can ice these guys pretty quick. Trying to get this. All right, there you go. Boss complete. So you'll notice that my shop is pretty big. Once again, we played a lot of the game. So you get these Ascension Crystals when you go into the shop. Now, there are some items that let you gain bonuses based on the Ascension Crystals, but for the most part, they're just used to level up the items. So you can click the Ascension button and it'll show you what it is. Originally, when you first start out, when you level up an item, you'll only have one option until you take that option, and then it lets you take the other one. Now, I have used this Vivid Fire one, and it is quite useful. It makes things a lot nicer, a little easier to run around. So I've never actually seen this one. Absorbs one hit of any amount of damage and explodes, pushing the enemy back. I wonder if that's like a one-time use. Usually things will say one-time use, like one use only, right? And there's things like this which attract all the experience in the area. You can do that with gold and hearts and whatnot. This guy over here, I don't remember when you started showing up. I think it was when I got to a certain area of the game in oh god, it's one of the levels. It's like the 4th level or something like that. Once you get there, this guy starts popping up, and he gives you runes which level up your stats, basically just like Binding Isaac. So you got the attack speed rune. I'm not really feeling that right now. I would rather get. Well, I'm not really happy with any of these. Honestly, we're gonna get this common chest. See what we get. This will level up the items we do have on us already. So we're gonna take cooldown. So if you notice on here, you got attack speed and you got cooldown for the weapons, right? I think attack speed is the amount of damage the damage done every second, right? Like as you would expect. But cooldown means the amount of times that the item activates. So I find that cooldown is usually better than attack speed, given the option. Now, also, you can reroll with this little Woody Wood guy, Mr. Groot Man. Let's see, this is what we just unlocked. You will be invulnerable while your dash lasts. Okay, so you can get some invulnerability with the dash. That's good. Now, I am disappointed that we don't get this item. I love this item. Increases the amount of damage you take, but gives you 50% damage. Now, I have noticed that things scale up rather quick in this. You'll see like 20% area. Once you get a bunch of those like high percentage stuff, it goes pretty crazy. I don't really see. I don't usually need to focus on my damage, right? So it's usually cooldown that I focus on because I find that to be the best option here. All right, so we're gonna move now. The timer keeps going. I haven't noticed any changes in what happens as the timer goes on. You can also reroll items. I haven't actually done that because I haven't needed to. Let's actually just see what that does. So I'm assuming it just changes the stats. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So it changes what you'll level up next level up. That's kind of cool. So the ascension that we took to our boots makes the fires go towards the enemies, which makes things a lot easier. And you can see that projectile that we just launched off, which is the item we got in like our first little area. You'll start to see it do more effects now that our things track down the enemies. All right, there you go. We got a little gold ring, which will suck in all the gold that's on the map. I haven't noticed things despawning really. I think I've seen potions despawn after a long period of time, but it takes a while. Like it takes a long time. Now, unlike some of the other games in this kind of section, the map is not infinite, right? So what you end up with is the ability to kind of just walk in one straight line. Like we could go straight up and we'll eventually be closer to our little gold mine. It does take a little bit, but I find that that's actually very useful because as you're going through, the hordes stack up, right? And eventually you want to be able to go back to the things that you want to pick up. And oh god dang it, that actually lets you do that pretty reliably. You just kind of gotta be aware of what you're doing as you're running through the game. So you got another level up. We can boost our boots a little bit. I think we'll start getting some movement speed here in a minute. All right. So yeah, a little tight here. A little tight. Gotta get those small movements. You gotta, especially on the kill shrines, you gotta not be afraid to walk out, because these enemies are gonna keep coming pretty strong, man. All right, easy, buddy, easy. Take it easy. All right, we're good. Just gotta take a second. Let them do their thing. We'll be chill. We're chill. No complaints. This little enemy dropped a seed for me, which I appreciate. Okay, we got our little taunters doll. I really don't know what you want to call that. I don't even know what that's called, honestly. All right, so we're just gonna kind of sit here, chill on him for a minute while we're blessed with our area. Okay, good. We did get our little runner boots. These give you another dash. On the bottom of your character, it's a little hard to see, but on the bottom of your character, you can see the little bar going up. That's your dodge. So you do actually have an indicator. You don't have to actually time it or anything. You have an indicator on when you can dodge and when you can't. It's a little unfortunate that it is on a timer, but you know, everything can't be amazing, right? You gotta have some difficulty in there. So these little tonics are actually pretty interesting. As you do shrines, which we'll get to in a little bit here once we re-enable the tree that I've already worked on, you unlock shrines, and they boost one stat and nerf another stat. It's pretty nice, honestly. I haven't had too many instances where, actually I think I've only had one instance where I actually found that they nerfed a stat that was particularly useful. It is random, so like I'm not saying like it knows what you need, right? But I've largely found them to be just useful. I haven't found them to be bad, you know, like pills and Isaac, right? They're either good or they're bad, but most of the time they're just bad. But for the most part, they seem to be pretty good. Now, I'm really hoping that we can get some freaking health here. So we're gonna kind of try and look for some boxes. We can get some potions. Get me gold, huh? All right, well, I think we're gonna get some movement speed so we can get away from these guys a little bit better. I've found that movement speed is probably one of the best stats, just because it lets you kind of snake through things. Now, once you get your ultimate going, you're gonna just roll through things, depending on your ultimate. Some of the ultimates I honestly don't think are all that useful, and we'll get to that once we get into some of the characters that I don't find to be all that great. After we're done here, we'll go ahead and try. Go ahead and try one of the characters. It's a little more OP, just to kind of give you an example of how crazy things can get in the game. Now, I don't really remember where I was going. I think I was just looking for health. Oh God. Hey, easy. Oh, we got a gold thing over there, so we should probably use our little gold ring. Please. Oh God, son of a. Oof. We're getting a little tight here. Getting a little tight. Also not picking up any experience. Okay. See, it's easy at first, you know, like most of these games. But once you get going, all right, second boss here. So we should be able to still get the experience from these guys as they. Oh God, yep. Well, we're dead. Never mind. All right. See, even on easy, like it can be a little challenging. Now you can retry and just go based on what you were doing before. They give you a nice little stats breakdown, kind of tells you all the damage of everything. Now we're gonna go ahead and enable the other tree that we have, so you can kind of see how things get once you unlock a bunch of stuff. I've unlocked a bunch of the structure setting, which gives you a bunch of shrine stuff. I haven't touched the combat very much, or the healing, really. Like, you get revives, which is pretty great, but honestly, if you go pretty crazy on experience and combat stats, I haven't found that you really get to die very much, although I haven't played expert too much yet. But I went ahead and got the experience attraction experience. I'm working on the gold as well, so those are, in my opinion, the more important things to level up first. You also, as you level up your character, you'll see it has a level down there. That's kind of like a mastery rank, and you get these variety of things that you can unlock to do different stuff for your items. Now, over here, Thyra is probably my favorite character so far. You get different skins, as you can see, and they'll tell you what's required to get the skin. But let's see, that's her original skin. So we're gonna be using our alt skin here, and we're gonna be starting off with the Poison Bomb, which I think is probably the most overpowered weapon I I have seen so far in this game, and just for grins, we're gonna show off Alfheim, and let's do hard, just because she is pretty strong once you get her moving. Now I've upgraded her to get a little poison trail every time she dodges. We get the stick, get a little damage from it as we go. You can also upgrade to get some starting level ups. So you'll see we have some P up in the corner. These are the shrines. Pretty obvious what the stats are. Now this weapon we're using, as you can see, is one of those ones that you don't actually have to aim. I haven't noticed aiming doing anything at all on this one, honestly. Another one of the items that you can get that's really strong for a character, the poison ring. I believe this is the one that makes you deal poison when you touch enemies, right? Yeah, okay. Chance of poisoning them as they touch also increases your poison damage as well. Very, very useful. As you can see, we do a lot of damage already. So we got 10 level ups. We haven't even leveled up anything. We're already going pretty crazy. Now, this is one of those characters that I honestly don't find their ultimate to be pretty useful. It's cool, but we're gonna build to go a little crazy right now. So we're gonna grab some poison damage. We're gonna grab our extra projectile. I've never really used mastery. I find that the projectile is honestly the best one. And we're also gonna do a little bit of focus. When you don't move, the damage and cooldown is increased. You also have the option to level up cooldown down here, which is what we're gonna be getting at next. So we're gonna go up here and grab our little box. Let's see. Okay. What do we get? Experience attraction, projectile speed, movement speed. I'm gonna take the movement speed because I feel like that's good. Now, most at your base level, you're not gonna be able to grab the shrines back to back like that, where ours didn't run out and the other one popped up already. So you gotta be aware of that. All right, we'll get another weapon here. So the little crossbow, one that we have to aim. Now, we're working our way to the other variety of shrines that are hanging out on the map for us, but we'll get there in just a minute. All right, come on now. Come on now. Ah, you little broccoli bastards. I believe those guys are actually called broccoli. There we go. So now we got a weapon that we can aim, so if we run into a little problem, we can get there. Now, it seems like the weapons actively aim in a useful direction. We're going to go ahead and get cooldown here for our poison bomb. They aim in a useful direction, so you're not like left screwed, you know what I mean? Like, they are it is helpful, you know. Like, you don't have to aim, but it can definitely make the difference, you know what I mean? Rather than having to maneuver around in a way where you can't actually get any bonuses or anything. It actually does help quite a bit. So it is a self-sacrifice kind of area. That item gives you a little bit of damage at the cost of some movement speed, which I don't particularly want for this character right now. I know we took the thing that lets us deal more damage if we don't move around, but right now we're not at the point where I'm comfortable just standing still. So we'll see that come a little bit later. We're gonna work our way over to this shrine down here. Now, you can't, if you really don't want the minimap and you just want to explore randomly, you can do that. You can remove the minimap. I honestly think it's more fun to just kind of collect the things and keep on moving. All right, so this is a healing shrine, which isn't too useful for us right now since we already did get our heals. Now, as you can see, there are effects like bleed. You got bleed, burn, poison, and paralyze, as well as freeze. Just slows the movement down. Paralyze makes the enemies stop moving altogether, which is pretty nice, depending on how long you can paralyze them for, or how often you can paralyze them, I should say. Now, the seeds aren't that useful when you're just like running around here. This is one of the other shrines you can unlock. This is an Ascension Crystal. We've already covered what that does. And over here, we're gonna get the best Ascension I think I've found, honestly, which is Cluster Bomb for our Poison Bomb. Also got 18 upgrades. We should probably dump some levels into that, so instead of just walking around doing nothing. See here, there you go. Gonna just kind of max that out as much as possible right now, and we'll get some cooldown. So you'll see our levels or our damage go pretty crazy right now. So things will start flying out pretty quick, and you can see the bombs pop out into more bombs, which is really nice, honestly. Like, this is where it starts to go kind of crazy. And you can kind of just like stand here, and you'll see they start popping out pretty quick. There's really no enemies on the screen. You can do this if you want. I have I did get to a point the other day where I kind of just, I stood in one spot and went and de-thawed some meat for dinner the other day. I came back and I was totally fine, and there was no problems. So it's rather fun to be able to do that. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of, I think I was on hard for that one. I haven't done that on expert. Once again, I wasn't able to complete expert, but we'll get there eventually, I guess. All right, so we got 8 gold. These do have a cap on them, so you got to be careful how long you let them. You wanna cycle through the map. It's really not beneficial to just stand in one spot. And as far as I can tell, it's not beneficial to the point where it's like actually bad. Because the more enemies you kill, the more experience they drop, right? But rather than having like an infinite amount of experience on the ground, you only have a certain amount of experience that you can get on the ground. I don't know the numbers on that, honestly. But it does get to the point where you're not going to get any more experience dropping, and you're just kind of gonna be stuck with it the way it is. Now, you can see we're getting to the point where our elites kind of just melt without us even noticing that they're on the map, because I didn't realize that big fire guy was even there. I don't feel bad for the guy. He just kind of got bopped with our potions. All right, we got 12 level ups. Let's go ahead and boost our thing to legendary. Now, once again, you can change the level ups with the reroll thing, but we're getting cooldown, which is basically the thing that I like with this item. So we're gonna go ahead and pop into our poison a little bit as well. Go ahead and get our cooldown. All right. So let's go get our attack speed shrine again. This is kind of a loop. You know, it's a fun experience. You know, it's good for, like, you know, you're watching something on the 3rd monitor or something like that, you know, or even the 2nd monitor, depending on your setup. Slay and ash creatures. Okay, little new potion. So there are things that are specific to each biome, like that one right there. You get different items from different creatures and whatnot. So you kind of just, you want to play all the levels, and I like certain levels better than others. Like this level, honestly, when I played it with the melee guy, I hated this level because of those trees. Because they do these, like, these lines of thorns that gets pretty freaking frustrating. So, let's see here. Can we get anything? What's useful on the map right now? Let's go ahead and, oh, there's our boss. Let's go ahead and pick up some of this gold. Now, if we move quick enough, you'll see on the mini-map, it actually moves the boss, which is pretty nice, honestly. And each boss has its own little thing. Some of them have those little area effects that block you in, and those types of things do damage and whatnot. So, whoop. That's a little boss. This guy's a little interesting. He's kind of little, oh, we got a little ability. We'll use this. This is a card that deals frost. Oh, boss is dead. Never mind. We're not going to go there. All right, back in our shop. You do get an Ascension Crystal every shop except for the very last shop. Critical. I'm going to pass on that because I don't really find that to be too crazy useful. Your little gold. As you level this guy up by buying things in the shop, he does different things and your shop levels up as well. I haven't been able to get it past this 5 items yet, but you know what? We're still playing. We're still going. We're still leveling. But eventually he starts pooping out gold, which is pretty nice because I do have 78 gold right now. So I've found that this guy is pretty useful just because he does base stats and whatnot. Cooldown reduction, I'm going to take that. Area is nice for this weapon as well. We're going to go ahead and reroll. That rerolls both of them. This is one of the more interesting items in my opinion. I kind of like taking these even though they break when you take damage. This does give you 50% cooldown reduction, which is awesome. It is very nice for this thing. You'll see as we get going. Give me projectile speed. We'll see if that actually does anything. And go ahead and give me a red heart as well. Give me a reroll. We got 20 gold left. Looks like it belongs to an ancient statue. Well, I don't know what that is, so I'm going to take that. I'm assuming that's an unlock of some kind. A movement speed I don't really need. You can get the blue hearts. Go ahead, just give me an upgrade here. Give me some cooldown. Give me some cooldown, man. Oh, I'll take the experience. That's fine. And you know what? Give me that too. We don't really need money. We're just going to level up. We're just going to try and get the little guy leveled up as much as possible. Now, every time you get a new wave, the boss is done, you do get new items, right? So you get items like this, which are based on gold. So there is an incentive to save a little bit. You don't always get items based on gold, as far as I've experienced. At least I don't think I have. But you do get new areas like this, and they are scaled up a little bit, as you can see. But with our build, like, it's not a big deal. You can just stand here, you know, and keep it going. And you can see on the side the enemies will stop dropping experience, like that guy off to the area right here. This guy probably won't drop experience either. Yeah. So you want to go around and move about and try and pick up what you can, you know, especially when you're at a point where it doesn't really matter for you to aim, you know what I mean? But not all characters get like this. This is why this is one of my more preferred characters, because I don't know, I like being OP, to be honest. It's more fun for me. Like, especially when it's still a challenge, and trust me, this might seem ridiculously easy, but on expert, I was doing the same kind of build, and it was hard as hell, man. It's tough, and each level has different creatures, right? As you can see here, we got a different little elite, and they get challenging. There's like a little goblin and orc level, and that level screwed me up, especially as things went on. Whoop! I'm gonna dodge here a little bit. We're gonna try not to be deceased. Let's see here. I got another little... Oh, I don't actually know what that shrine is. I upgraded... Maybe that's like an epic shrine or something? Oh, what the heck is this? What is this? Oh! Hello? New thing? But it's... I don't know what this does. It gave me a question mark. So I'm gonna assume it's a question mark thing. A little paralyzed rune. Okay. Now these don't... This is a healing shrine, right? It's a one-time use. Doesn't respawn after you beat the first boss. So we're gonna go ahead and move our way up to this other little stump over here. See what we ended up with. All right. See, things are getting a little squirrely here. Oh, right. It's the gold one. So we do want to try and get that if possible. Halves our damage, which is really great for the item that we weren't able to get, which is the, I think that was last run. Our little dagger that increases the damage we take, but also our damage dealt. So we're just gonna chill here for a second. Let them clear out a bit. Give ourselves a second to breathe. Go. Oh, we have 30 level ups. We should probably do something about that. That would be very beneficial. Go ahead and get the area. We'll pump up our poison damage here. Go ahead and do this one. Get our area so the effect of the poison bomb is better. Go to the damage. You'll see I haven't really touched any of the other items. Like, I don't find them to be that great. The dagger is pretty okay. The bow is also a little OP. The bird is the bird. You know, it's useful. It's another kind of just stand around and let it do its thing kind of item. That seems to be largely the focus of this character. It's kind of split between active effects and passive effects, you know, as far as dealing damage is concerned, because the bow isn't active. You have to aim it, but once you ascend it, it's like an AoE thing, kind of like the bombs. It auto aims and it touches the whole map, so it gets pretty crazy, but not as crazy as this as the poison bomb, honestly, because it does, like, based on the enemy, and it doesn't hit everybody all the time. And yeah, this is just honestly the most OP thing I've found so far. Some of the other enemies or the other characters have different, like, weapon mechanics. Like, there's like a tarot lady, which we'll get to eventually, which is pretty fun. She does, like, different effects based on what card she draws, depending on what weapon you have. She really only has one item. I don't know what is this circle? Is that poison? Well, I guess we're not going to find out, so just go ahead and try and find that gold. There we go. Let's see. Part of the nice thing about having a directional weapon is hitting those boxes. The boxes will get hit by your auto aim items, like the little poison bomb we got, but it's not guaranteed. They don't seem to have any sort of priority. So if you're, like, hurting for health or something like that, it does become a bit of a problem. So you do want a directional item. Like, it is important. We're gonna just stand here for a second. And you'll see on our stat screen, it is an immediate effect as far as like the stat bonuses and whatnot. Oh, what's this do to me? What's this do to me? No, hit me! Hit me! Okay, it doesn't really seem to do anything to me. Alright, got some poison or damage cooldown on the bird. I'm gonna take damage on the poison bomb just to start us rolling out a bit. See, once you get to 10 gold on these guys, they stop mining. So you want to keep visiting them periodically, as we've previously stated. So let's see here. We're gonna go. Let's get the ultimate just to kind of show it off. It's okay. You know, it gives you stats like as you affect it, right? So you do one of these, gives you attack speed and attack damage. It's useful like early on when you need to clear stuff, but honestly, if you take the poison bomb and you just keep rolling, like it's not that useful, to be honest. It's better to just focus on the some of the other items. We're gonna have to paralyze these guys. Oh, we got hit. God dang, man. All right, there's our second little boss here. I'm just gonna stand here. I'm gonna wreck him a little bit. Stand here a little bit. There you go. There you go, buddy. Yeah. Yep. Come stand in my poison stuff. Come stand him. Oh, God. Come on. Come on. Get him. Get him. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and oh, he's hitting us, man. He's hitting us. Whoop. The little AOE there. Yeah, see, it does good damage. It's just not as good as some of the others. Now, at the end of the level, all the experience does get sucked up, as you'll notice right there. Got another Ascension Crystal. Got a couple of different items here. Sometimes you're able to break the boxes. You can't do active stuff in here unless you got like an ultimate or something. So it's, you know, they do drop stuff, the boxes over there, but it's not always. Let's see. Damage based on gold is pretty good. Vulnerability when dash land. I mean, we're not on a crazy high difficulty, so let's just take this, save our money, and keep rolling. And we'll focus on trying to get as much gold as possible. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the daggers real quick. These are another area focused or aim focused item. They do like a series of increasing shots as things go along. Let's see here. Oh, we got a guy down there, huh? We got another Ascension Crystal. So let's actually go ahead and we'll show off the bow here. Let's see here. Go ahead and grab that. You can do this big final shot thing, which I haven't actually done, so maybe we'll use that. But this is what I was talking about, the AoE that touches the entire map. It's just another like kind of OP little thing. Makes this character pretty crazy, honestly. So, right, you know what? Actually, let's and these weapons also have an ascension. You don't have options for these ascensions, but they do different things. You can't ascension your ultimate though, which is a little unfortunate. Remember what the bird does? 2 more ravens appear, or each raven leaves a sacred trail that deals damage. Nah. So let's do this one. So you can multiply the amount of daggers thrown, or you can have them return. This is the original base value or base one, so we'll go ahead and use this. So it does give like a lot of little thing. Oh, hello. What are we doing? Why can't I? All right, but you're not higher up, so what's that about? I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. All right, can I have that a little experience bubble? Okay, what are we getting? We're getting like potions and stuff. We need gold. That's what we're doing. All right. So you gotta kind of. It's like all of these types of games, right? You gotta focus on what you're doing to keep yourself engaged. You know, it's fun. I haven't honestly been bored. Like, as soon as I was like a little like, just kind of getting a little samey, I just upped the difficulty and it was like infinitely harder and more engaging. So if you get a little bored, you know, just up the difficulty. It's kind of like one of those situations. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade our bow quite a bit. Yeah, and you know what, actually, let's go ahead and give it some duration. I believe this increases the amount of time that the little AoE from our bottle is on the ground. So that's useful. And you can see our little bow does that little snaking arrow thing. It's kind of hard to tell from all the stuff that's on the ground. And honestly, if you can't see stuff, you can change the amount of stuff on the ground. Now, I haven't had to do that, so we'll just go ahead and do this. Oh, there you go. You can kind of like see what's going on. It changes the transparency, I guess. So can we just like make it disappear? Okay, well there you go. If you really can't see things, or your computer's like, no, you're trying to melt me, please help, somebody save me, you can just do that. But you know, it's kind of cool just to see all the things go off at one time. There have been instances where I literally could not tell what was going on the ground, so I can see where that is useful. That was with the card lady with her little star book. That was a little challenging, but it's still fun. It's still fun. All right, we got 6 gold on our little area here. Fantastic. We do have quite a bit of damage from our thing. Let's go ahead and chill for a second. See how fast things melt away. Yeah, once again, we're doing a bunch of damage. Like even the bow's damage is pretty up there. Oh, there you go. You can see the bow effects finally. Hey, buddy. Just kind of trying to get this guy sorted out. There you go. All right, there's some more gold on the map. Let's go ahead and pick some of that up. Did we ever get this kill shrine over here? I don't think we did. What was this item? I should oh, a glass knife. Let's go. Okay. So at some point we did get hit, obviously. So our our cooldown reduction is gone. Glass knife, obviously, you can read it right there. 50% damage, but breaks when you take damage. Kind of lets you do like a glass cannon-y type thing. Same with all of the glass items, honestly. I think I've only remember seeing a glass dagger and a glass hourglass for cooldown and damage. So I'm assuming that there's other glass items. If not now, then maybe in the works. Like, obviously, this is an early access game, so it's a little work in progress, right? But no, it's a good time. It's a good time. So we got another little thing here. Go ahead and do our experience up, get some more levels. You can see how high you are at the bottom. We're level 101. We'll go ahead and finish upgrading our bow, I think, at least as much as we can. We can get pretty close. There we go. Okay. Now, it is worth noting that if you like your ultimate, you can make it upgrade the cooldown, so you can do it more often. Some of the ultimates are pretty nice, like the Tarot Lady gives you stacking buffs the more often you use her. I'm gonna take this just for the extra bleed chance. More often you use her thing. All right, here we go. Oh, it's our last little area. This is the shop. I don't remember when this starts to appear, honestly. I don't remember, unfortunately. But you do get the runes from this man. Now, since we have our damage increased by gold, I'm not going to pick it up, so we're just going to kind of run in here. Now, every boss is different. Each one's got a different stats and, like, different fucking attacks and whatnot. Different boss areas. This little outline here, it's, you can't pass it, as you can see. Some of the bosses also seem to change based on the difficulty. Like, I did the boss for, I think it's the 3rd or 4th level, and on expert, there's 2 of them, and on non-expert, like normal, there's only 1 of them. So, hard mode lets them berserk, and they get, like, extra stats and, like, extra things as they get lower in health. But as you can see, our build's pretty OP, so it doesn't really matter. So there we go. Get some leaves for doing a variety of things, like completing the thing. Got a little expert difficulty. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Bunch of little unlocks. Conquer Alfheim and hard or higher using that character, which is the one we did. Very good. Okay, got all kinds of different unlocks. And there you go. You can see the breakdown. We did you almost 1,000,000 damage with our poison bomb, which is pretty solid. Gives you a breakdown of all the items that you have. You can't really like look at them, but it shows you the unlocks and whatnot. And it shows you how many unlocks. So we've unlocked 56 out of 227 things. So there's a lot to do, man. Like, there's a lot of content. I'm really excited to see where this game goes, because there's so much potential in this little formula they got. And as we'll see pretty soon here, the difficulty does ramp up pretty quick, but we're going to save that for next time. I think that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider like, comment, subscribe, and really help me out. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Later!